Now, most of us know that we can grow things like marigolds and zinnias from cuttings. But did you know that you can actually propagate this Oriental poppy from cuttings? Let's talk about that and a few other flowers that maybe you did not know you can grow from cuttings. So let's first talk about this Oriental poppy. This is called American Legion. Look how pretty that is. And this is actually a perennial. It will go dormant after flowering, and then you can actually take cuttings from the bottom, root cuttings. So dig it up and cut the roots into several pieces and then plant those. Or during early spring or late winter, it will actually produce some side shoots coming out of the roots, and those can be separated and planted. Now you can also do that with the peony style poppy, which I am so excited about. It is about to bloom. I don't know what color that is. I planted several. So yes, definitely you want to be able to try and propagate your poppies all over the garden, because why not? Now don't try to do that with your native California poppy as an example. Those are best sown from seeds. Did you know that Nasturtiums can be propagated from cuttings? I didn't know that. I just found out. What you can do is actually take cuttings that are below the leaves. So it's got to have at least 1 or 2 nodes, like right there. So a cutting about 6 inches long, and you should be able to stick it in some moist soil, keep it humid with a little plastic bag on top of it, and it should sprout in a few weeks. What's interesting for me, I just observed that this particular nasturtium plant is actually producing plants from its base. There are several plants that are emerging, and I am assuming I can separate these out and plant them as well. So I think that's pretty interesting. The next flower that you can propagate, which again was surprising to me, is Violas. Take about 6 inches, strip away most of the leaves, leave a couple for photosynthesis, definitely take away the flowers and stick them in some soil, and you should get new plants. That's what I've done right here. So stay tuned. I'll let you know how these come along. Runner beans are another plant that can be easily propagated from cuttings. Now, I've got only this one plant, so I definitely intend making some cuttings from this, but it's such a small plant. So we'll have to see. They're pretty easy to grow from seed as well, but they did take a while to germinate for me in early spring. So that might be an option to consider, is take some cuttings during late spring, early summer, and make yourself some new plants. Another interesting flower that can be grown from cuttings is Hollyhocks. Now you don't want to take cuttings from the upper part of the plant. This one can only grow from root cuttings. Let me show you. So this creamish pink, such a sweet color, hollyhock, is an example of a plant that is producing root cuttings. So if you see down below over here, these two plants are connected at the root. So this was the original plant, but it sent out this shoot as well. So technically when the plant is young, before it starts flowering, I can go ahead with a sharp knife, cut it right down there, and get 2 plants out of the one. Another one that is producing a little baby shoot over here. So I think actually I'm going to try that. I'm going to cut this off, I'm going to plant it somewhere else and see if it'll grow. Scabiosas are another gorgeous perennial that can be propagated from the bottom. And this thing, gosh, it is such a bee magnet and a hummingbird magnet, and it is so pretty. So try and get yourself some Scabiosa seeds, start them, and then afterward try and propagate them from cuttings. And by the way, this is a perennial in the warmer zones, so it will die back and it will come back full force the following season. And finally, the Grandmaster. Sunflowers can be propagated from cuttings. Just kidding. You want to grow those from seeds. So go ahead and try to start some plants from cuttings, folks, during late spring, early summer. The weather is warm and it is perfect for growing plants from cuttings, and so much faster than trying to start them from seed if you've already got some parent plants. So have a lovely gardening season, folks, and happy first day of summer.